welcome to another episode of the Caffeinated Librarians, Mayapack Public Library's pop culture podcast. I'm Katie, and today we are continuing our Strange Casserole with my pick, Black Swan.
A nice, light-hearted movie. Nice, filled with laughs.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's the strangest movie I have ever seen, and watching it again after it first was released in 2010 made me remember why I only watched it when it was first released.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the strangest movie I've ever seen, but it's certainly one of the most... I don't do well with body stuff. It's one of the more viscerally disturbing ones for me.
Uh-huh.
And granted, I haven't seen a lot of viscerally disturbing things. That's because I don't really like that stuff that much. So, but there's a lot of like, breaking of ribs and breaking of bones and pulling of nails and.
Yeah. Now, see, I've seen a lot of gory stuff, but this just it hit on a couple things with like skin and nails that I'm like, I don't like that.
When she's looking at her feet. And her toes have melted together.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah.
That rocked. I thought
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of funny. I was like, oh, she's got webbed feet.
Yeah.
And that's something that actually happens to dancers, right?
No. No, that was her turning into a swan.
That was her becoming the Black Swan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just thought it was like a dancer thing.
No. No,
okay.
their feet are
That'd
damaged.
be so scary.
Yeah, right? That's why I was horrified.
Jeez.
No.
I'm glad I don't do ballet.
But plot synopsis quick because we're spoiling us so much right off the top here.
I'm just saying it sticks with you.
It's Natalie Portman as a ballet dancer named Nina, and she's up for the role of both the White Swan and the Black Swan in an unorthodox production of Swan Lake. And she's got issues. Her mom is really overbearing, and as with any ballerina, totally insane body standards, and you kind of just can't do it at past like 25.
Yeah.
Like it's awful. I don't know why ballet is like that.
Well, I mean, since the making of this movie, the standards for ballet I know have changed for the better.
Okay,
so,
that's good.
Yeah.
Do you remember the one part where the woman is measuring her and she looks sickly thin?
Yeah.
And the woman's like, "Oh, you lost weight," and that's like the only time you see Natalie Portman like smile while she's there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, so, just insane standards for beauty and weight and everything. And,
well, I mean, and also, too, Nina as a character, she doesn't have real, boundaries, and she strives to be perfect in a way that is humanly impossible to be perfect, and that's mostly because of her mother.
Well, her mother's a trip. But,
Even just to make it, Mila Kunis said she lost 20 pounds,
Yeah.
bringing her to 97.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
And she said Natalie Portman was smaller than she was, so
Yeah.
that's honestly not a huge fan of that. I don't think you should endanger your body in that way.
No.
Yeah.
But Natalie Portman does give a fantastic and very committed performance here.
Yes.
I think my right leg is 97 pounds. Yeah. Wow, jeez. But she does. Yeah, Natalie Portman's great in it. Mila Kunis is great in it.
Mm-hmm.
Mila Kunis, who just doesn't do real movies anymore. I don't understand why. She's very good in this.
Yeah. Yeah, really, very exceptional.
Was she in many other dramas?
Not that I'm aware of.
No, the only one that sticks out to me is the Channing Tatum one.
I gotta be more specific.
But it's like a sci-fi movie. But that's the only and I say serious.
Oh, Jupiter Ascending.
Yeah, that
Oh,
one.
hell yeah.
Yeah, that's the only, and I say this very loosely, serious movie.
Yeah.
That I remember her being in. She was in the movie with Justin Timberlake though.
Friends with Benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually surprisingly charming.
Yeah, and it's kind of wild because Natalie Portman did No Strings Attached
Yeah.
Yes,
shortly
she
after
did.
this
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. With Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Oh.
some
Worlds
weird,
coming together.
I don't know,
Yeah.
cycling around happening there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is directed by Darren Aronofsky. You know, you know him. Requiem for a Dream, Pi, Mother, The Fountain.
The Wrestler.
Yeah.
So you said this yesterday, and you've said this before. You said you're not crazy about Aronofsky.
No.
What is it about him that you're not crazy about, if you don't mind me asking?
Okay. This is gonna sound mean, but I think he's
I like
very pleased with himself.
Oh yeah.
You know,
He's one of
like
those.
I think Requiem for a Dream is kind of just like a really bad film.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
like people love it, so
I've never
probably
seen the
minority.
movie, so
Me neither.
I think it relies really hard on its aesthetics in a way that sort of cheapens some of the drugged stuff, and like I don't know, I just
yeah.
it's I think it's full of itself in a way. Yeah, like
So you think would it be safe to say you think he's arrogant?
Nah, I don't know. He pulls a lot from older films in a way that, like, I don't know. And then he'll deny it in weird ways and
Yeah.
be evasive about it. Like,
Well, I mean, he said that in an interview that he had seen Perfect Blue.
yes.
And that there are some like similarities between the Black Swan and Perfect Blue, and he said that that he didn't take any inspiration from
which
that
is-
movie,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah,
really
it's-
silly.
Actually, now that
And-
we're bringing this up, now I'm remembering what we talked about at the
Yeah.
time. And I think he had said that in an interview,
Yeah.
while I appreciate that movie and stuff like that, this is, I didn't draw anything from that.
Yeah, and it's
movie.
like, buddy, you made Perfect Blue
Yeah.
in ballet. Like,
And I
Yeah.
think we talked about it. We were like, it's okay to say, like, yes, I was inspired by this, and I wanted to, show my appreciation for it by doing some of the things that were done in that movie.
Yeah.
Like, we were like, that'd be okay, but the fact that he denies it is like,
yeah, no,
Right.
there's another funny bit I was reading up on where Natalie Portman compared Black Swan to Rosemary's Baby, which
Yeah.
this movie takes a lot of cues from Rosemary's Baby, and one scene in particular is straight up lifted. The bit with her and Mila Kunis hooking up, and she looks down and she's shocked by the face, and there's that big score that is pretty directly lifted from the scene with the devil in Rosemary's Baby.
Is when Rosemary and the devil get together. In
Yeah,
that
and
scene?
at first she sees
Okay.
her husband, and then there's the
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But like, and
I see it.
I was just like, okay, but he didn't. He was like, no, I didn't take from Rosemary's Baby. I actually took from Repulsion and The Tenant, which are two other Polanski films
Yeah.
that are in a sort of unofficial trilogy with Rosemary's Baby. It's like, okay, now, buddy, like,
Yeah.
sure.
Tell me you took inspiration from it without telling me you didn't. You took inspiration from it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But this was him in a mode. I don't know. Like, I like The Wrestler. This feels more of a piece with that than his stuff I find more grating.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, like, I enjoyed this film. I do have my issues with it, mainly with him lifting stuff from, like, great canonized movies, because it's like, sometimes it's better not to draw those comparisons. Because
Yeah.
it's like, you got a good movie here, don't just be like, oh yeah, and it's just like that one. Like,
Yeah.
no, let
Yeah.
it stand.
Yeah. I also read somewhere too that, also on the Wikipedia page, that he calls The Wrestler and The Black Swan like unofficial sequels to one another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How I've never seen The Wrestler, so I don't know.
He was talking about how it's just like, one's the sort of low art side of things where
Yeah.
somebody's using their body as an expression of that art,
Oh,
and
okay.
mangling themselves in the process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like The Wrestler focuses on a lot on like blading practices where wrestlers would cut themselves to create blood for matches,
Oh,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Or
Oh.
like just really like banging up their bodies for like entertainment value.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's like a scene of
No.
Mickey Rourke watching the play,
No.
right, or the ballet, whatever.
No.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Or Ronnie the Ram was just in the background.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, no, like I said, I did enjoy this. Like, I do think this is a successful film. It looks great. I appreciate it being shot on 16 millimeter. Gives it a good grainy look. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, allows for a lot of cool handheld stuff.
Oh yeah.
I loved the cinematography in this movie because, like I said, I watched this when I was 20 years old when it came out, and now watching it again, I'm picking up more. I remember the story, I remember what happens, but now I'm picking up more of like the nuances of the movie. So I love like the theme, and I feel like this is like an overarching theme within the movie of this dual personality with Nina, because she's being cast as the Swan Princess, and she's, if you notice in the movie, she's only ever wearing white and being like portraying like this innocent person, where deep down she is also the Black Swan. You just see it in everyone else.
Yeah, yeah. One of the things is, you see that other side of her. You see that other side reflected in other people. You do see her start to switch a little bit. You see she starts wearing like black leotards with about a half an hour left in the movie.
Yes.
Like when she really starts to
Crack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the thing I think that I how much of it is actually like when she's seeing the director guy
The choreographer.
and
Thomas.
and Mila Kunis together. Is she really seeing that?
I think it's all in her head.
Yeah, right? Like that's not actually
Yeah.
happening.
No,
Like,
I think
Yeah, like I think like Beth stabbing herself too
Is not
very
actually
much,
happening.
no.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all in her head.
So like anytime she sees herself doing something.
That I think is more debatable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because there's the bit where she sees the other self scratching,
Yeah.
and like she's been accumulating scratches throughout the film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think seeing herself is her actually doing it. We're just seeing it from like a different perspective, or she's seeing it from a different perspective. But everything else is, I think, just in her head because she is paranoid.
Yeah, you know what it's like? It's like Mulholland Drive. How
Yeah.
like the Naomi Watts character has the two split roles, where one is sort of, it's a little debatable as to if it, but one's sort of more grounded in reality and is a lot darker of a character, and the other is like a very peppy gee whiz sort of person, because it's like that's the persona created to deal with the darkness.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
At least that's how I read it.
Yeah, I can see that. And then, so the mother is
Great Barbara Hershey performance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's very controlling. Mm-hmm. So Nina is supposed to be like early to mid 20s, but because of, and Emily, I'm just straight up saying one of our colleagues, Emily, said this, so I'm just going to straight up pull from that. But she said, you're supposed to get a sense of, these dancers' lives and how they're kind of like isolated
Yeah.
in those lives.
It's
And she's very much treated like a child still
yes.
by the mother, and the mother kind of gave up her career so that Nina could have a career, and she's kind of like all of her dreams are being put through Nina, and while she's problematic 100%,
Mm-hmm.
I'd say at the end of the movie she has her daughter's best interests at heart.
When she tells her not to perform, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like I think that because you asked the question when you started the movie, like, is the mother crazy? And I was like, yes, but there was a part of me that was like, she's crazy because she's a little bit controlling, but at the end of the day, like, she realizes like her daughter's not well.
Yeah.
And
I wouldn't call her mother crazy. I would say that she's those overbearing helicopter parents. And she has a little bit of like a guilt trip to her too, because with that whole scene with the cake, when her mother had, I don't remember if she made it or if it was a bought cake decorated to celebrate her getting the principal role in Black Swan. she goes to cut her a really huge slice of cake, and Nina's like, oh, just like half of that kind of a thing, or a little less. And then she goes to throw the entire cake away. And then Nina's like, oh no, don't worry about it. Don't do that. I'll have the entire cake. And it's that whole controlling, overbearing thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like almost like manipulation.
Well, it
You
is.
know.
It's straight up manipulation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I think at the end of it though, it's like she kind of realizes, she's like, oh crap, like my daughter's like going through some stuff right now. And let me tell you, she's going through some stuff.
Yeah.
She's seeing things, she's hurting herself, she's scratching herself, she's got feathers coming out of her back. She's pulling her fingernails.
I think there's also like a level of I think there's also too like a level of shame with Nina when it comes to her like sexuality.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
And that's very prevalent in the movie, and I think that also does not help with her mental stability like at all.
Elaborate.
Especially when her the choreographer tells her to.
Yes,
And she goes to do that, and her mother's in her bedroom asleep.
Yo, tell me that was not the scariest part of the movie. Where the mother's just sitting there, passed out, and Natalie Portman.
Right.
But how creepy is Tomas?
Yes.
Like are ballet instructors like this? Like
no, I don't.
He said he based it on a real guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
he was like a big figure in like the 50s. I'm sure there's there's creeps in the field.
Yeah,
as
right.
With any
Yeah.
field.
I think like anywhere.
Yeah, but yeah, he is. Vincent Cassel is really just an awful presence here.
Yeah,
but
he goes
plays
for
it so well.
Yeah.
So well.
The part where they're working on the scene, and it's just her and him dancing, and he's all over her, and then he's like, that was me seducing you. You're supposed to be seducing me. And he just walks away.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
Yeah.
My dude. I don't know if that's okay for you to do that.
Right.
No, nothing he does was okay throughout the film. It was all evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a cutthroat life that is, too. Like,
oh, yeah.
Like ballerinaing,
Performing, dancing.
Yeah,
wanting to be principal, but being chosen, and then being the understudy, and how, ruthless they can be.
And let's talk about Mila Kunis. Like, let's be honest. Mila Kunis is trying to sabotage her. Up until the last, I'm gonna stick with it. Up until the last time they interact, when Mila Kunis is actually like, I know we've had our issues in the past, but you were wonderful up there. Up until that moment, Mila Kunis is sabotaging her. Like, there's just no way. She literally drugs her the night before.
She admitted to drugging her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then gaslighting her about what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Mila Kunis just happened to show up, and then when she's having the big breakdown at the end, Mila Kunis is like, she's not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
She's supposed to be sick. Like, yeah, because you wanted that role, Mila
right.
Kunis. So yeah, I think Mila Kunis plays that really well. She plays like that friend, but like when you're not looking, I'm gonna stab you in the back.
Yeah.
I thought she played that very well.
It's also went to my point with the duality of the two characters, because when you look at Nina, she's definitely the swan princess. She's Odette. And then Lily, Mila Kunis's character, she's definitely she's Odile, the Black Swan within the play.
Yeah.
The ballet.
Yeah.
Damn.
Even in the credits, they credit all the actors as correlating characters in the play.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So Tomas is the gentleman. Her mom is the queen. Winona Ryder's character is the dying swan, and the dance partner is Prince Siegfried.
Oh, I didn't notice
Yeah.
that. Oh. Interesting.
Who's supposed to be the sorcerer that transforms her into the swan?
We don't have that.
Oh, we don't.
No.
Okay, he's an entity all on his own. I love the sound design and the cinematography of this movie.
Yeah.
Like, especially when they're in the rehearsal hall and all you hear at first is the wood in the shoes when they're when Nina's rehearsing.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, I did not like the scene where she was getting the shoe ready.
You know,
Yeah.
I was like, cracking of them.
yeah. Well, that's
Yeah,
what
those look like
ballerinas
hell.
ballerinas do that.
Yeah.
In general, they get their new shoes that are custom made to their feet, and then to make them more pliable and flexible for dancing, they destroy them.
Yeah. And then their toes merge together,
No, they don't.
and it's disgusting.
Lewis, that doesn't happen. They do injure their feet.
I hope not. I hope it doesn't happen.
They do injure their feet, but they don't.
I'm never looking at a dancer's feet ever again. I never saw a dancer's feet before though, so I don't think I'd have to.
Well, I mean, it depends on what kind of dance.
Yeah.
True.
I mean,
Yeah.
if they're doing.
If ballet is terrible because
It's a
it's
break
it's
dancer.
literally all on the toes.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
yeah.
If they're doing break dancing, I guess I could look at their feet.
Or ballroom dancing, too.
Yeah.
Because they're just wearing heels.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how you got how people dance in heels. I don't know how people walk in heels.
Practice.
Fair enough.
Uh-huh.
I liked the music also. I mean, I know
love
it's just the score for.
Yeah.
Swan
Yeah,
Lake.
I was
Swan
like,
Lake.
okay, you're relying a little too heavy on Swan Lake.
I was into it. I was digging.
You
it.
were whistling it down down the stairwell.
Yeah, I was feeling it. I was like, I like to just get more and more intense. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was for it. I'm pro Swan Lake score.
Yeah. I've watched the actual play on YouTube, so I'm very familiar with the score of the suites of the play or of the ballet. So I enjoyed it immensely.
How long are ballets though? Like, aren't they like 5 hours long? Like,
No. They're not that long.
How long are they?
I don't know the exact time.
Well, how do you know that
Hold
they're not
on.
5 hours long then?
How long is Swan Lake ballet? Typically between 2.5 hours to 3 hours.
That's not too bad, I guess.
It's not bad.
That's not too bad.
No.
And hopefully there's an intermission or something.
Oh, there's always an intermission. Yep.
Yeah.
I do feel bad for the dancers doing that for
Oh,
that
yeah.
long.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why it's so competitive and insular, and people want to do it.
Yeah, I mean, you think about like the people that are actually like ballerinas and stuff like that, and even, you know, like orchestral musicians and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, these are people that not only have they been doing it for literally since they were a child,
Yeah.
but they also are dedicated enough to practice for hours and hours and hours. You know, like there was a very brief period in my life where like I thought I wanted to be a professional violist, and I went to some auditions and everything like that, and I saw the work that
yeah.
like some of these other people would put in, and I was like, nah, I don't feel like doing that.
I used to want to be a ballerina.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I went to dance class and all of it, but
Oh, yeah?
I didn't like people telling me what to do, so that didn't last very long.
Oh, how do you get done? How do you do anything in life without people telling you what to do? Though?
I know, but I was also a child of probably 5 or 6 years old and did not want to be told what to do.
Oh.
Yeah,
How'd you do in school early on?
it was hard. It was very difficult.
Interesting.
Yeah. School was different, though, from dance class, so...
I never minded being told what to do. It was, don't tell me what to do, and then when I do it, tell me to do it a different way.
Yeah.
That's what I didn't like.
Yeah. So can I tell you what my favorite scene in this movie was?
You know, Katie, before you do that, I have a question.
Sure.
I hope this isn't out of bounds or anything like that, but I was wondering, what's your favorite scene in this movie?
When she turns into the Black Swan.
When at the end when she's dancing?
Yeah.
That was awesome. Actually,
Yeah.
I concur.
Yeah.
And I was almost thinking like how cool it would be to be in the audience
And witness that.
and actually have that happen. Like I'd be like I was like thinking like, is there a way that like you almost just like as she's moving around like something like opens up on her arms or something like obviously it's not real.
Right.
But I'm like, is there a way to actually do that?
I don't know.
They could probably figure something out. They do crazy stuff.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So I at first I thought like, oh my god, that's so cool, and then obviously you see her later on and you realize, oh, she's not. Like that wasn't.
Just
a
yeah,
prop.
big fan of the climactic sequence.
Yeah.
I think hiding the body was pretty excellent.
Oh
Yeah.
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 And to
The
realize that she's
body.
alive the entire time.
Yeah. Now the other thing is, like, she could very easily not have died,
Yeah.
right? Like we don't know that she's dead.
Right. It's very ambiguous.
Like, yeah, she's bleeding quite a bit, but you know, if you put some pressure on that wound and then get an ambulance there, they're gonna patch her up real quick because you know, like
It all depends upon where she stabbed herself, though, too.
it looked like in the stomach, right? Like,
Yeah.
I just think narratively it makes more sense for her to be dead.
yeah, probably.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Yeah.
like that's clearly a treatable wound, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
What I love also too is when she realizes that she stabbed herself and she's crying and she's putting on her makeup for her Odette scene at the final of the play, and you see the subtle transformation of her from crying to not crying like at all, to be like
Yeah.
happy.
and it's almost like kind of like she's accepting the fact that this is it.
Yeah.
Like she's gonna put on one last great act kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got goosebumps at that scene. I
Yeah.
was like, oh my goodness.
And she does. She puts on, you know, I mean, everyone's in awe
Yeah.
of her performance. And then it's just like, oh, well, you're not even going to get to enjoy any of this because you're about to die.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's like, damn.
And
Poetic justice or injustice right there.
Yeah. And I thought too it was very like almost poetic when she's fighting herself essentially, but she's like as Lily until she transforms into her herself, and that she says that it's my turn, because if you think about it, her mom is like almost making like her whole career about herself, Nina's career about herself, because she says in this scene that she had given up her career because of Nina.
Yeah.
And it's been like, we don't know if her mom forced her into ballet or if Nina chose to go into it and then she just became, I thought that was very nicely.
I think with ballet, especially somebody that ends up becoming a professional, like you start so young where like you kind of are just put into it.
Yeah.
Right? You got to be like, there's no way at 3 years old you're like, oh, I'm a ballerina.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say I want to be a ballerina.
Yeah,
But you have
don't know
no,
what it
like-
entails.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And she probably, you know, sees stuff of her mom, sees
Yeah.
videos of her mom and stuff like that. So she's like,
Yeah.
yeah, ballerina. You know, that's my 3-year-old impression.
Did anybody catch Sebastian Stan in this?
Yes, I did.
Bucky,
That's wild.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
What the hell is he doing here?
Tom
Working?
and Jerry.
Yeah.
Just working. Getting a paycheck.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a crazy part.
Oh yeah.
Also, did anybody like watch that? I mean, I don't know where you guys. I don't know where you guys are at in your lives, you know, in terms of nightlife.
Uh-huh.
But like, did anybody else watch that and be like, God, I don't miss those days? Like,
Yeah.
you know, like
Well, I never was.
you never had those days, huh?
No, but all I can think of is I'm glad I never had those days.
I mean, they were fun when I was 20.
Yeah.
Like to go to clubs and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and like, you know, go to clubs and stuff like that.
And be safe.
Hmm. And they were fun. But now I'm looking at that and I'm like, God, the music's loud.
Yeah.
The strobe lights would give me a headache. And I just kept thinking, like, how are you going to function the next day getting home its exam?
Honestly, I would like clubs so much more if just it was easier to have conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really my only strike against them. I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
they're like, it's okay if it's really loud on the dance floor, but like have different sections, like
Yeah.
have little alcoves and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I do not miss it. I don't miss that stuff. And the other thing with living in Westchester was like, so either you had to, and I had friends that lived in the city, so it was either you, and the friends that lived in the city, of course, wouldn't go out until 11 o'clock at night.
Right.
So it was either,
Which I could never do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never understood how people can do
yeah.
that.
No.
So it was either you left 2 hours into going out because you had to catch the 1:50 train home,
Right.
or you stayed until 6 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Which, who can do that? I can't do that.
Could you do it in your 20s?
I mean, I did it,
Yeah.
but like it just gets old very quickly.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, nah, I can't.
No, until it's just like after a few hours, what
Yeah.
are you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because all the clubs and the bars close at even if they close at 4, which I think they close at 2 now.
Yeah.
But even if they closed at 4, you're still sitting there for 2 hours, and you can't go to Grand Central because they kick you out of Grand Central because they clean it. So you have to sit outside. Which, again, if it's the summer, maybe it's fine.
Yeah.
But usually it's not. Usually it's the winter, and you're cold or it's raining. And then cab drivers are saying, "Yeah, we'll drive you back to Westchester for $150."
It seems like you've had this experience.
Oh, too many times. Too many times. It was brutal. I once left a night on the town. I had driven, but I had driven to my friends in Queens, and for some reason I left without her. And a cab driver took me to Queens. Somehow I didn't remember where I parked, so I had to call her. Somehow he found my car
Oh, God.
where I was parked.
Oh, no.
And I get out of the car and I go to give him a tip. And as I'm turning to walk away, he grabs my arm and pulls me, and a car speeds right by.
Oh, my God.
This cabbie saved my life.
Louis.
that's the best cabbie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, I felt like I didn't, but I felt like I should turn around and give him more money. Like, you literally just saved my life. Yeah, good times.
Yeah.
Good times, yeah.
Doesn't sound like good times at all.
Yeah, no, it probably wasn't. Yeah. So yeah, that's my going out experience.
Okay, so what do we think is more disturbing, this or the entire series of Dance Moms?
Oh.
I've never seen Dance Moms,
It's pretty crazy.
but I imagine Dance Moms
Dance
is more
Moms.
disturbing because they're real people.
Dance Moms for sure. Yeah.
that main lady is so mean
Is
to
she?
every child.
Yeah.
Oh, how old are these kids?
They're like little kids.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, see, that makes me sad.
Yeah. She's yelling at them a lot. And then it inevitably becomes like a screaming match between the instructor and the parent.
What kind of dance? Is it ballet?
I don't know what they do on that show.
I think it's ballroom. I don't think it's ballet. Uh-huh.
I do love all the doppelganger stuff in Black Swan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's
Yeah.
very effective.
Yeah.
I love doppelganger stuff in general.
Yeah.
It always gets me.
Yeah, and I think the first time, like I saw it, especially the one where Mila Kunis like looks up at her and then she sees her own face, like that. The first time I saw that, I remember being like freaked out
Yeah.
by that. Like shit, like was creepy.
Yeah.
So I thought they did a really good job with that. This movie's very, I mean, it's very good. I joke about the body stuff and everything like that, but beyond that, like it is very good. This is probably the third or fourth time I've watched it. I remember watching it right after we watched Perfect Blue.
Oh yeah.
Because of the comparisons. Yeah, just a really, really intense, good movie. Should we rate the movie?
Sure, we can rate the movie.
What are we rating it on?
Swans.
What did you say?
I said feathers.
Feathers?
Swans.
Swans or feathers?
We can do feathers.
Feather. So I'll about lead off. I'm gonna give this one 4.5 out of 5. I think it's an exceptional movie. I haven't seen a lot of Aronofsky. I saw Mother and I don't understand it.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if I've seen anything else. Like I haven't seen The Wrestler. I haven't seen Requiem for a
The
Dream.
Wrestler is very good.
There's The Whale,
I haven't seen that either.
which I don't have much interest in.
But this one I think is exceptional. And both, I mean, all the performances are great, but Natalie Portman just goes to like
She won
another level. Yeah, she won
the
an
Oscar
for this.
for this role.
Had she won an Oscar before?
No.
Also, no, she didn't win an Oscar for Leon.
She won
No.
the Golden.
No.
No, she won the Golden Globe for this role too, and then went on to win the Oscar. Yeah.
So, fun fact that probably everybody in the world knows, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
Okay, go ahead.
There's a part in The Social Network where they're in deliberation and one of the Harvard people is saying like Mark Zuckerberg was the most popular person on campus, and that included a future, I forget what he says exactly,
Yeah.
but a future president, somebody else, and an Oscar-winning actress.
Mm-hmm.
And the lawyer goes, "Oh, who was the actress?" And the guy goes, "Oh, does it even matter?" And then he cuts. And so if you Google it, it's a little nod from Aaron Sorkin to Natalie Portman, because it was Natalie Portman who was the Oscar-winning actress on the Harvard campus.
Yeah, she was credited on like a good amount of like scientific papers too.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
She's
yeah,
very
time
smart.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So shout out Natalie Portman. Yeah, just great.
Great
Yeah.
rapper too.
Yes.
Job. Yeah.
Saturday Night Live.
Those are some of
Yeah.
my favorite
Yeah.
Lonely Island sketches.
Yeah.
Yeah. I only saw this is like my second time seeing this movie, and I remember why this is the only second time I've seen this movie. But after seeing it the first time, knowing where the story was going and being able to catch like the little nuances of the movie, I would give this a 4.5 feathers out of 5.
Yeah, this was my first time watching it. Yeah, I'm hitting it with 4 feathers.
Nice.
Nice. Well, let us know what you guys think.
Uh-huh.
Let us know if your feet have merged, if your toes have merged after dancing.
No, it doesn't happen, Lewis.
You know, I mean, hey, listen, I know, like my stomach merged after years of eating. You know, so hey, it can happen.
Wait, what exactly would your stomach merging be?
I guess it used to be a little tighter, and it kind of like melded into what it is now. But let us know what you think. What'd you think of Natalie Portman? What'd you think of Mila Kunis? What'd you think of the mother's art, which really wasn't that great? I didn't think.
No.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Did she have like a job, the mom?
Yeah,
like
right.
what was she up to?
Yeah,
I don't know.
She couldn't have been selling that, right?
yeah, I hope not. I hope people weren't buying that. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. We'll see you all next time, and when we discuss Blue Swan.